Hi, bestie, and my favorite supporter. I thought I'd try this earlier today to kind of give you an update. I kind of my mood is much better earlier, obviously, because energy and stuff like that. And having Esther around, by the end of the day, my energy is kind of low, and then kind of lose motivation to do these videos. But I thought I'd take a moment and kind of share with you what the Queer Compass Institute actually is. I know that I've been sharing that I'm starting this nonprofit and that I have launched a fundraising campaign. My background is in fundraising. I've worked in fundraising for 20 years in the nonprofit world before starting, going full-time into my executive coaching business and entrepreneurial kind of journey. And the Queer Compass Institute is one of these entrepreneurial journey passion projects. And why I kind of, landed on this is just like my own kind of journey, right? I was really burnt out at work. I used to work for a nonprofit and they treated me really poorly. The last one, during COVID. And just in general, so that's like one piece, right? The nonprofit world has treated me poorly, and so now I understand what the nonprofit world is, and that it's just a business model. And I think that a lot of us feel a little indebted to the nonprofit world just because of the nature of the work, right? That we say that it's not for profit, meaning that there's no capital like gains, like revenue's not really the drive, right? Or at least that's the assumption, that revenue is not the drive. But in reality, nonprofit just means that you're tax exempt and it's actually for the public good, right? So anyone can really pretty much start a nonprofit. My experience in the nonprofit world, with my own leadership job, whatever you want to call it, career path, I kind of fell into fundraising, and unfortunately I did not have good leaders. I mean, I'm not going to say that I didn't have any good leaders in my career path, right? But the people who I usually would work with or for, they weren't necessarily the best leaders, and they didn't have like the best of intentions for their staff or employees. And as a result, during COVID, a lot of this kind of happened, right? A lot of this actually was exposed, right? That myself included, that my workplace was not treating me properly, right? So the Queer Compass Institute is really a leadership institute, meaning that it provides you with the tools that you need to lead in alignment. And I know I keep saying lead, using the word lead and leadership. We usually hear the word leadership only in the workplace and only attached to seniority, right? So positions. So, example for me is I always, when I started my nonprofit journey, I was always a coordinator, and because that was my role, right? I would coordinate services, I would be the liaison kind of stuff. I would kind of be the glue, so I was a little bit of everything, right? But I got so hung up on coordinator and why I didn't get manager position or the director position, or why I didn't move up the ranks, right? I always felt like a worker bee. And every time that I would present like a new idea, innovation, it would always get shut down. It always gets shut down, and we never talk about it. It usually would come down to the budget, right? And as you can imagine, 20 years, right, coming into this, after 20 years of someone saying telling you that your ideas don't matter, whether verbatim, saying that verbally like that, or just by shutting them down, or not supporting you in that journey, can take a toll on you, right? And I also, like, in general, I kept hearing leadership, going back to leadership. And, you know, it was always attached to this position, this role, right? At the Queer Compass Institute, the idea of leadership, I want you to think about leadership outside of the workplace. Because the workplace is only part of you, right? We at the Queer Compass Institute, this is a holistic approach where you bring your identity, your full self, you know, whoever you want to bring, right, to the table. And it's really about your strengths and developing you into the leader that you want to be, the one that you want to become, the one that you are. And maybe you just need some tools, right? Maybe you just need a little bit of training. And maybe you just need a reminder, not only from myself, but a reminder from your community that you are that leader, that you matter, that the work that you do matters. Imagine that. Coming into a space where you can be your full self and share your lived experience, both good and bad, right? Always learning from them, right? And just your mere presence in that room, virtual or in person, and being amongst community, it's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. For me personally, when I'm in them and I facilitate them, the cohorts, and I'm talking about the cohort learning experience right now, it's beautiful because people from all walks of life, currently, because they've been virtual, have been attending from all over the US. And when people connect over a shared lived experience of feeling like the only one in the room, of feeling like you want to grow, you know, you want to feel confident in your leadership, in the way that you present yourself. And it's not about content. The Queer Compass Institute is not about content. There is a methodology for the cohort experience and other, you know, learning modules that will evolve, but it's not a linear kind of learning experience. And oh my gosh, now I lost my train of thought. And what really matters in the cohort experiences are the people, the community, right? The community is what makes it up. And a lot of us, and this is now the fundraising piece, and because a lot of us are not actually, for whatever our, you know, perhaps our parents or the way that we grew up or our communities, we were taught to shrink ourselves. We don't believe in ourselves, right? And in the educational system, no one does that for us either. And so this is really that place, the place where you come to grow, you come to be celebrated, you come to share your lived experience. Yeah, it's about sharing, you know, and learning and growing and feeling empowered at the end of the day to live a life that aligns with your values, your goals, obviously, and yeah, and to continue building a community that its foundation is this, right? Because, you know, as gay and queer men of color, they don't teach us this. The institutions, they're not built for us. So we miss out on this. And that's why I'm building this. So if this resonates with you, if you're out there in the nonprofit or outside the nonprofit world and you kind of feel like a worker bee, or you feel like there's something else out there for you, or you have a passion project that, you know, because of maybe you're environment, you haven't been pursuing it, we might think it's like a financial thing, but if you're there and you have that fire in you, that inkling to live life to the fullest and to bring you, yourself in the fullest form and be present and let that guide you, the Queer Compass Institute is for you. This is a little bit, and I know that I was rambling a little bit because there's so many things of this. I was mostly explaining the cohort experience, but the idea is that the community also is part of this. Feel free to ask some questions. I'm going to do some more of these to kind of help me also kind of, practice, but also answer questions that you might have. I know that I would love your support. And being a founding donor, which means that, from the ground up, you believe in giving access, right? Access to education and leadership opportunities for gay and queer men of color. While I hope that our community supports this, I definitely see and look to our allies, especially allies who have received some kind of this training and understand what this executive education, what this empowerment really is about, and would love to see our community thrive. Thank you so much. I'll see you soon.